It is Saturday, February 14th, 2026. And while a lot of people are, thinking about Valentine's Day, the political mood here in Thailand is, well, it is anything but romantic.
That is a very good way to put it. Unromantic. The election was last week, February 8th, and usually the dust has settled by now.
Right. You have your winners, your losers, and you move on.
Exactly. But this time, that script has been completely shredded, and honestly, it seems like some parts of it literally ended up in a garbage dump.
I saw that.
Yeah.
We're looking at a government forming with this huge majority, but it's being built on what feels like a total crisis of confidence.
It is. It's incredibly messy.
Messy feels polite. I mean, we're talking about ballots with trackable codes, a massive data leak with voters' GPS coordinates.
And yes, actual official election materials found in a pile of trash.
Wow.
It really does feel less like the aftermath of an election and more like a crime scene.
It does. And the stakes are so high. It's not just about who won this round. It's about whether the system itself, the very machinery of democracy, is even working.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we really need to unpack a few key things. First, the technology. The whole barcode controversy.
The one that might have just destroyed the secret ballot.
And the physical side, the negligence, the stuff in the trash. And finally, the political reality, the coalition that's forming no matter what.
Okay, let's start with the tech, because this is what has everyone so fired up. The barcodes and the QR codes. Now, everything has a barcode, right? My coffee cup has a barcode. Why is the People's Party so convinced this is the end of democracy?
Well, that's the Election Commission's argument. They say, look, it's just for tracking, to prevent people from printing fake ballots and stuffing the boxes.
Which sounds reasonable on the surface, so what's the catch?
The catch is how that barcode connects to everything else. You have to picture the ballot book. When you vote, they tear the ballot out of a book.
Sure, like a ticket stub or a checkbook.
Exactly like a checkbook. And there's a counterfoil, a stub, that stays in the book. The critics, like Item Parrot and Wiraj, are pointing out that the code on your ballot can be directly linked back to the code on that stub.
Okay, I'm with you. But the stub doesn't have my name on it, does it?
It doesn't, no, but it has a sequence number. And here's the other piece of the puzzle, the voter list. When you walk in, you sign that list. It records the order of voters.
I see where this is going.
You just overlay the two lists.
If you know I was the 15th person to vote and you look at the 15th stub, and that stub is linked to a ballot.
You know exactly how that 15th person voted. The anonymity is, in theory, gone.
But is this a real threat? I mean, who is actually going to do that for millions of votes?
It's not about doing it for millions. It's about the ability to do it for one. And that brings us to this really chilling concept, perfect vote buying.
Perfect vote buying. That sounds dystopian.
It is. For decades, vote buying was based on trust. A canvasser gives a voter some money, and the voter promises to vote for their candidate.
But you never really know. You pay for the vote, but you don't get a receipt.
Exactly. But with this barcode system, the vote buyer can say, I can check. I have connections. I can see the stubs. I can scan the barcode. If you take my money and you lie, I will know.
So it turns a gamble into a contract. It creates that receipt.
The psychological pressure is immense, and that's why you see someone like Mr. Arm, the IT influencer Dr. Tannanon, coming out so strongly on this.
Yeah, I saw that. He's usually reviewing gadgets. It's a bit of a leap to constitutional law.
But it's fundamentally a tech issue. His point is simple. The Constitution requires a secret ballot. If the system is designed in a way that allows a vote to be traced, even by one official,
then the system itself is unconstitutional.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if they promise not to look. The fact that they can is the violation. And that's the basis for the People's Party lawsuit under Article 157.
For dereliction of duty.
Yes. But this is where it gets so much worse. We've been talking about the physical link, right? The stub and the voter list. The EC has a defense for that.
What's their argument?
They say, don't worry, the voter list and the ballot stubs are stored in different sealed containers in different places.
The old separation of powers argument. Well,
Yeah.
I guess separation of paper.
Right. They say you'd need a court order to bring the two together. But that entire defense just collapses when you look at the digital security failure.
A white hacker story.
The white hacker story. An ethical hacker just poked around the system for checking voter rights and found, he found it had zero cybersecurity. Not weak security, zero.
What kind of data was exposed?
Everything. I mean, ID numbers, phone numbers, parents' names, and unbelievably, the precise GPS coordinates of voters' homes.
Wait. GPS coordinates so they can find your house down to the exact meter?
To the meter, but
Look.
the real smoking gun in that leak, the thing that connects it all, was the voter list sequence number.
Okay, connect the dots for me. Why is that sequence number so important?
Remember the EC's defense that the system is safe because key A, the ballot stub, is in one building, and key B, the voter list, is in another.
Right, you need both keys.
Well, the data leak just handed key B to the entire internet. A bad actor now has the sequence number. They know John Smith was voter number 45. All they need now is access to the physical stubs, and the whole system is broken.
So the digital leak completely invalidates the physical security.
It bridges the gap.
Yeah.
And we're hearing this data is being sold on the dark web for just a few hundred baht. Your location, your voting order, your whole family tree.
That's horrifying. So the digital door was left wide open. But surely the physical documents, the ballots themselves, are treated like sacred artifacts.
You'd think so. But that brings us to the incident in Phra Samet Chitty in Samet Pregan.
The trash dump. When I first saw that video from Viraj, I honestly thought it had to be fake.
It looks fake, but it's not. A local citizen, Mr. Emnue, was just walking past a garbage collection point, and he sees it. Official election materials just sitting in a pile of trash.
And what are we talking about here? What was in the pile?
Tally sheets, for one, the actual papers used to count the votes, ballot boxes, other official documents, things that are supposed to be under lock and key.
And this happened in a district where the People's Party actually lost, right?
That's the key part. This isn't a case of a sore loser. They found evidence of negligence in a place where they weren't even the winners. It points to a systemic failure.
What did the local EC officials say when they were asked about it?
Their response was so weak. They just said they were, and I'm quoting, waiting to prove it. They didn't even deny it.
Waiting to prove it. I mean, how could the EC argue they have this super secure, high-tech barcode system when they can't even keep the ballot boxes out of a landfill?
That is the fundamental contradiction here. It just completely shatters any illusion of competence or security.
So what is the EC's official defense? I mean, Secretary General Soang Boonmi has been talking.
He has, and his defense is very, very legalistic. He's focusing on the definition of direct and secret.
Okay, so how does he define secret?
He claims it only applies to the moment you are in the booth marking the paper. As long as no one's looking over your shoulder right then, the requirement is met.
That feels like a loophole big enough to drive a truck through. It's like saying your bank account is private, but we can print your statement on a billboard.
It's a very narrow reading. He keeps going back to the separation of materials. He says, if someone hacked the data or throws boxes in the trash, that's an individual crime. His argument is that the system is perfect, it's just that some people are bad.
But isn't the whole point of a system to be robust enough to withstand bad actors?
Exactly. You don't build a security system based on a wish that everyone will be good. You build it to be strong.
And the public, they're not buying it. We have those NIA-DO poll numbers.
And those numbers are just devastating for the Election Commission. 58.28% of people believe the EC cannot punish anyone for election fraud.
Nearly 60%. A clear majority of the country thinks the referee is powerless.
Powerless or complicit. And that's when the game itself loses all legitimacy.
Which brings us to the winners. Because while this whole mess is unfolding, a government is being formed.
It is. The Bumjai Thai Party, led by Anutin Charnvirakul, is solidly in the driver's seat. They have 281 seats confirmed, and they're aiming for over 300.
Over 300. That's a steamroller majority.
Absolute control. And the big news is that Pheu Thai has officially signed on as a coalition partner.
How are they spinning this? I mean, joining as the junior partner to Anutin.
Well, Phumtham Wishayachai from Pheu Thai gave a quote that really says it all. He said, being in opposition, you can talk. Being in government, you can act.
That's brutally pragmatic.
It is pure realpolitik. He said it's not about dignity, it's about responsibility. They know if they sit in opposition against a 300-seat government, they're irrelevant. They'd rather be in the room.
Speaking of being in the room, what's this rumor about the 10-to-1 formula for cabinet seats?
Ah, yes, the classic math of Thai coalition building. The rumor is, for every 10 MPs your party brings, you get one cabinet seat.
So it's literally just a transaction, a head count.
It makes it simple. It removes ideology and just makes it a numbers game. If you have 30 MPs, you get 3 ministers. It's how a Newton can hold this whole thing together.
So where does this leave the People's Party? They're the official opposition, but they're powerless in Parliament.
Mathematically, yes. They can't stop a bill. They can't win a debate. That 300-seat government is a firewall.
So what's their play?
Their strategy has to move from the Parliament to the courts. That's why this lawsuit is so important. They know they can't win the vote on the floor, so they're trying to prove the floor is built on a rotten foundation.
They're fighting for the next election, not this one.
Exactly. They're not really trying to overturn this result. They're trying to get a legal precedent that says this barcode system is illegal and can never be used again.
So, looking at the week ahead, what are the key things to watch?
Monday is huge. The EC is holding a press conference specifically to explain the Samet Permakin trash incident.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
There are
The garbage truck came early is probably not going to work.
It's going to be a tough one for them. And at the same time, we'll see the official filing of that Article 157 lawsuit. The details of their legal argument will be critical.
And what about these protests? They seem a little unusual. The noodles.
The eating noodles with 6 people, flash mobs. It's a very clever, very Thai form of protest.
Explain the symbolism. Why noodles?
It's about getting around the laws on public assembly. You can't have a big rally, but you can sit with a few friends and have lunch. When groups do it all over the city at the same time, it sends a clear message.
We're here, we're watching, but you can't arrest us for eating.
Precisely. It keeps the pressure on without giving the authorities an excuse to crack down.
So, to sum it all up, we're in this really weird spot. We have a government that's numerically unshakable.
Bumajaitai and Futai, a supermajority.
But systemically, it feels like it's built on sand.
That's the tension. You have a legal government, but is it a legitimate one in the eyes of the public? When 60% think the referee is broken, every single thing this new government does will be viewed with deep suspicion. They have the votes, but they don't have the trust.
It all comes back to this idea of technology, doesn't it? We give up our data every day for convenience, for Google Maps, for everything.
We do. We're totally used to being tracked.
But the voting booth was supposed to be the one sacred, private space, the one place you were an anonymous citizen. The EC tried to bring tech into that space for, efficiency.
And in doing so, they may have destroyed the most important part of the entire process.
It really leaves you with a huge question. If the secret ballot isn't secret anymore, if there's even a chance it can be traced, are you still living in a democracy? Or is it just a marketplace now?
A marketplace with receipts. That's the thought we have to wrestle with.
A chilling thought. Keep an eye on those court filings. This is just getting started.
Absolutely. Stay informed.
We'll see you next time.